What's up, fellas? It's Metaferno here, and it's been a little while since I made a Tomodachi video. By a little while, I made one for the announcement trailer and never did anything else. No speculation, no video when it first came out. And sorry about that. It's been a little busy with work and everything and all that. But I'm here to do some Tomodachi Life stuff now because I love the Tomodachi Life games. I mean, the two of them I played. This new one is really great for stuff I'm about to show you, but I always love the 3DS one too. This game with the face paint feature is really cool because I decided for this YouTube channel, I'm gonna make a Sonic Island or a Mobius Island, you know? Try my hand at making Mii's based off Sonic characters, you know? And see how it goes. So I'm gonna show those off in this video today. Plus at the end, if you want to just skip to the end and not see how they're all made, I'm going to have a montage of little funny clips and stuff that happened on the island after I'm done discussing all the characters I made. So you can just skip to here if you want to check that out. But yeah, I also might do a world where I mix a ton of fictional characters and stuff, but for as right now on YouTube, I'm going to have the Mobius Island or what's going on with Mobius or something, I'll call it, and I'll probably be doing shorts and videos and stuff about it. But today is mainly showing you off the first bit of the cast of the island, then asking you guys who you think we should add to the island. So let's get right into it. Okay, so starting off with the Sonic Mii, and as you can see, it's pretty simple overall. It's just as good as I could make Sonic facing from the front. You can see here in the Mii Maker, it does, you know, the illusion as soon as you turn can be broken a bit, but I was focusing more on how they looked from the front, and I think Sonic turned out pretty good. And then like you can see with Sonic here, I made custom clothes as good as I could for each character, so I think Sonic turned out pretty cool, and here's the base I used to start making all the characters on this island. Then moving on to Tails, and I won't go into the Mii Maker for everyone when I don't gotta explain it, because I already showed you Sonic the way it kind of looks, but Tails one, I think turned out actually pretty great. Honestly, even a little better than Sonic's, but he's a little easier to draw than Sonic. And overall, I love how Tails turned out. He looks just about right for at least my style of doing him. But yeah, there's not much I would do, but you can see I do get a little better at using it. The Mii Maker is a little weird to use, but that's the Tails Mii. Then we have the Knuckles Mii, and the Knuckles Mii is really funny. I don't know what it is specifically about it. Maybe it's that the dreads are really short or something, but something looks slightly off about him and it's pretty funny. But this one was a little easier than the others because, you know, Knuckles doesn't have any ears or all that. It's pretty simple, but I think it turned out pretty endearing, you know? And all these, I guess I could improve over time and all that, but I think Knuckles is alright. Then moving on to Amy, and for some reason I love the way that the Amy Mii came out. It looks really wholesome in a way. It has a cutesy vibe to it, which is, you know, very Amy, but I think like with the red hairband and the hair and the eyelashes, it all actually just came together really well. And then I gave it like a little gremlin face because I thought it would be funny. Like with Sonic, I'll just point out is like with some of the characters, like Amy, I feel like the hairs actually work really well to do her like actual quills compared to some of the other characters. But yeah, that is the Amy Mii. I think it turned out pretty cute. And then we have the Cream Mii, which I think turned out quite adorable, if I do say myself, you know. And the outfit I think works really well, and all of them, it's the shoes you can never really get because you can't draw them yourself, but I really like the way the Cream one came out. I will point out in Cream specifically because it is a little rough because you can't have the ears go behind her. So she does have probably one of the bigger detriments to having the face paint just be on the front, but I couldn't help but do it this way because I just think it looks so much better for Cream when you're looking at her like this instead of using like pigtails or something, because like the ears are such a part of her like silhouette and the design, I just had to draw them on. And I think Cream turned out pretty adorable. And then there is Big. And Big is a big boy. And it's pretty funny because you cannot get stuff to have really big things on their head. So his ears just did not work at all. So I had to go for these stumpy ones. But I don't know, there's something a little shifty about him. but I think he's well-meaning, and he turned out pretty funny. And then the Shadow Me himself, which, I don't know, he's a little bit of grumpy. The me making this is so awesome with the face paint stuff, because I think this actually looks quite a bit like Shadow. It turned out really well, and this was when I was starting to get a little better with the me making, with these me's. And I just like how displeased he looks. I think it fits really well, and I think it's pretty funny for how he acts on the island is like a goober. I don't know, this game gives you a lot of power, and I think that's really cool. And that is Shadow, and I think he turned out pretty cool. Then this is the Rouge me, which is a little rougher than some of my other me's and all. I think I got it about as good as I could, but I might need to go in and edit some stuff later with Rouge, because for some reason, he just was really hard for me to make, mainly in the face area and stuff, because he has like a, certain look and all that, and I feel like I got the eyes too droopy and all that, which is pretty funny, I guess. But this is definitely one out of all the ones I have here. I think I might have to touch up, but I think it turned out okay, but could have a little improvement here and there. But that's the Rouge me. And then one of my favorite me's I have here is the Omega me. I just had to, because, Team Dark and all that, and I think he turned out amazing, in my opinion. I don't know, I just think it's so funny looking at his head on a regular body. It's so cursed, but in a way I just really love. And he definitely was one of the ones that took the longest on the outfit, but I think it turned out good for putting the effort for doing that. But yeah, he's one of my favorites on how funny he turned out. And that's the Omega me. I think he's pretty iconic, if, I say myself. Then we have the Silver me, and like Big, you can tell that I could not make his quills really tall on the top. And on the bottom, they're a little short and stuff, It's a little scuffed looking silver. I still think I got the shape there, and I think the body turned out actually quite nice. But yeah, he's the second character that definitely suffered from the limitations of the box. But I still think it's cool how much freedom you do have to just do stuff like this. Because at least it looks like Silver when I look at him, even if he doesn't have as, majestic of quills, I guess. But yeah, that is Silver. He's pretty lovable, if you ask me. Then here is the Blaze the Cat me, which is one of my favorites. Blaze is one of my favorite characters, and I think I got it pretty good here. And it looks, mainly in the face, it looks really good in my opinion. Well, in my opinion, I guess my bias, but I got it to the point when I could not do her hair with the drawing because it just did not look right. So I had to find the one hair I could find that kind of, you can see it from the perspective it should be. And it was a spiky bun. But I think it works out for the me, and it all kind of just came together pretty nice. The only thing I could say is maybe her outfit might need a little work, but that's the Blaze me, one of my personal favorites. But you guys can let me know what you guys think in the comments about any of these. And since up to this point I was doing Teams of 3, I decided to add Marine from Sonic Rush Adventure. And I just made it a little goblin, because that's what she is. And she came out a little rough around the edges, and I might need to touch some things up. But overall, I think I made it look like a little agent of chaos, And again, the me maker is so funny in this game, because you can make little gremlins like this. But yeah, I think she might not be my best, but I think she turned out alright. Then of course, we have the Chaotix next, because I kind of want to do Blazing Silver. And I'm like, well, I did all the other Sonic Hero teams. I gotta have the Chaotix. They deserve to be on this, island right away. So the Vector me is pretty funny, because Vector is a little harder to translate than other characters, believe it or not. But I think I got his face pretty well, from this perspective at least. But his body might suffer a little more than others and all that. But overall, it's mainly in his face, and I actually tied a mouth into its little big mouth there, so it does look like he's just talking with the very front of his snout, which is really funny. But that's the Vector me. He alright. And then we have the SBO me, which it has a certain 10-mile stare to it, but it's kind of how everything lined up with his look and all that. And I think his body turned out great. is my favorite part about this one. And the head might need some work, but I kind of love how, I guess, scuffed he looks. The only thing I will say that sucks about the Espio is I could not get the skin tone to match exactly on the Mii itself. But overall, I think Espio turned out pretty solid. And then we have the Charmy Mii, which I think may be one of the most flawless, obviously, that I've done so far. I think he actually just turned out super well overall. And a lot of little details, and he definitely has like a super gremlin or Agent of Chaos kind of feel, kind of like the Marine. But yeah, that's the little Charmy dude. I thought it would be really fun to do some of the comic book characters. So, of course, I did my favorite one from IDW first, is Whisper the Wolf. And Whisper was one that's pretty nice because I could just use an actual, like, hair piece because it's kind of how Whisper actually works, you know? So I think that actually worked out quite well for Whisper. And then using the closed eyes, I think it gives it a really unique look, and drawing the little teeth on, I really liked how the Whisper came out. The outfit could be a little scuffed because I was trying to do the trench coat and everything on the back and the front, but yeah, I really love how Whisper turned out. And then we have the Tangle Mii, and the Tangle Mii is really funny looking. I think it's turned out well with the kind of chaotic nature of Tangle. I think we got it pretty good here. I could maybe use some adjustments, but I personally really like how Tangle turned out. Not as much as Whisper, but I think I did a pretty good justice. And overall, C is another Agent of Chaos, I guess, if that's my terminology for that. But yeah, that's the Tangle Mii. Then we have the last Diamond Cutter. We have the Lanolin Mii, which turned out, I think, actually kind of perfect. With the hair, I kind of just had to go for something that was the closest, and these two spiky bun things on the side was the closest I could find to it, like 4, poofs on her back. But yeah, giving a slightly displeased look and all that, but the drawing, I think, turned out pretty well. And like I said, I got better as I was going, and I think C turned out pretty good. Especially her outfit is one of the ones I think turned out better than others. But yeah, nothing too extreme, but that's the Lanolin Mii, and I thought it was great to do like teams of 3 is what I was doing, if you couldn't tell at this point, with the Diamond Cutters and the Sonic Hero Squad, and then the Team Dimensions plus Marine. So last but certainly not least, we have the Eggman Mii, which I mainly focused on the outfit for Eggman, if you couldn't tell, and used no paint on his face, but I used the eyebrows for the mustache like everybody would for a regular Eggman. Mainly because then it would emote with him, and I thought that would be really hilarious. And it gives him just like a slightly off look with how simplistic he is, but I kind of love it. And the outfit was definitely the hardest part for Eggman, but I think it just kind of completes the look of this silly rendition of Eggman. And then I did Sage to go with Eggman, because, like father-daughter kind of thing, and you can actually do that as a setting in this game, which is really cool. So I'll have to see how that plays out. But yeah, this is the Sage, See, it's a little more simple because it's just like a little human girl, but I'm not sure if I got the hair exact. I think I did pretty okay, but I might need to touch it up later. But that's the Sage. And then we have one of my favorite Miis in this whole thing is the Metal Sonic Mii I did. I really like the way the Metal Sonic turned out. And with the way the paint works, you can layer it on top or behind, and layering it on top and just making his body black really nails his eyes, which I think is really cool. And then he definitely, like Omega, had a lot of time put into doing the body, but I think it was worth it in the end because I just love the way that the Metal Sonic turned out. And one of my personal frames, I think the Metal Sonic is really cool. So yeah, that is all the Miis I've done so far. And if y'all wouldn't mind, if you want to leave a comment down below, what Mii do you think turned out the best? What Mii do you think might need some work? And most of all, I want to know, what Sonic characters do you guys think we should add to the island? Because I'll probably add a couple more myself, but I do want to kind of do like with the community, if you guys want to at all. Maybe vote on whatever Sonic characters you want to put in. If not, I'll probably add a couple here and there, just to spice it up a little bit. But yeah, sorry it took me so long to do a Tomodachi Life video. This game is amazing and really fun, And I was maybe going to do a world with Red in the gang and all that, and a ton of other characters, but that might take longer to do, so the Mobius Island is going to be my for fun, like, quicker vids and all that kind of thing for Tomodachi Life. But yeah, overall, I think it turned out well, and you can see here from this little bit I've been talking over, is I'm trying to make, like, the town from Sonic Battle, and then I'm going to make zones and stuff, and the island's still a lot in the work in progress, and I'm starting to do objects and stuff. And I've been doing a lot of items and all that, and you'll probably see that in the little montage and all. But overall, I'm going to be working on this Mobius world and stuff. And I hope you guys will tune in for the next time. But those were all the me's. Leave what one's your favorite and all that, you know, kind of good stuff. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later, and God bless.
Do you feel like talking about guns? Help me clear my mind. On Mobius that's supposedly 500 years old?
Well, really makes you wonder about what life was like back then. Heh. Thanks for sparking my imagination, Vector.
Ha? Of course. I guess that book on rings trivia really paid off. If you want to hang out, I'd love to tell you more.
Nothing would make me happier.
Phew. I'm glad no one on this island is a faker. Do you have them? I would just love it if there were a vending machine right here. Well, that's a big improvement.
I maintain excellent eye contact.
Let's say it together. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Racing. It's like we share the same brain. We have to live together.
Are you alright?
Please help me.
What was I doing again?
Split up Sino with checksum, the Tolomega, Cold Janus top President Channel. Oblap. Minnesota Oblap. Oblap. Imagine for me this stat from tomorrow.
No, that is Ingle Ingle. Yeah. Jam and grab a backpack. Well, transparent as Jambo. Platinum. Ring. What novel 20 turbo bring?
Hi guys, it's next to find out if it's finished. Thanks, Rick. Let us know with Jack Dumbo. Bye, friends.
They're in. Hit. Let's.
I've never met anyone so brave.
Finally, someone who understands.
The Grand Bluegill food. So I said, Captain Oak Hartley's children. Gamble. Then two Tencha. Oh, which baffled the channel with him. Yim.
How about straighten up?
Metaphor, no. We
We
give you
our eternal
our
thanks.
eternal thanks.